Okay, I'm going to do this question now. So there's two parts to it. The first part says differentiate x squared plus 2x from first principle. So that's the first part. And then the second part says, and find the slope of the graph when x equals 0. So we're going to, for the moment, I'm going to ignore the second part. And we're going to have a look at the first part. So differentiate x squared plus 2x from first principles. Differentiate just means come up with a formula or find a formula for the slope of this graph. So this is a graph. It looks like something. It's going to look a little bit like the x squared graph where it's curving like this. And when it says from first principles, it just means to use the limit as h approaches 0 method. So I'm going to write the slope. So we know the notation for slope now, dy over dx is equal to, and it's the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h. So this is the formula, minus f of x divided by h. So this method of finding the slope of a curve, this curve, or any curve, is called the method of first principles. So when it says to find it by first principles, we use this method. So, okay, we need to know what f of x plus h is and what f of x is. So f of x is just the curve. So f of x in this case is x squared plus 2x. And f of x plus h just means anywhere there's an x in this, we fill in x plus h. So we got an x here. So it's x, instead of x squared, is x plus h all to be squared, plus twice, and we have an x here. So it's twice x plus h. So let's simplify that out, multiply out x plus h squared. Let's do it down here. So it's x plus h times x plus h. You should know what that is by now because we've done it a few times. So it'll be x by x will give us x squared plus x by h, xh, h by x plus another xh or hx, and h by h plus h squared. So we've left with x squared plus twice xh plus h squared. So that's what this part is up here. So we're left with, so x plus h squared is x squared plus twice xh plus h squared. Now we've got plus twice x, so plus twice x, and then plus twice h. Okay, so that's the f of x plus h part. So let's fill into this. So dy over dx, which is the slope, is equal to the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h. So that's x squared, is quite long, plus 2xh plus h squared plus 2x, I think I need a new marker, plus 2h minus f of x, which is this. Now be careful here. It's minus all of f of x. F of x has two parts in it, so we want to subtract both parts. So I'm going to put that in brackets. So it's x squared plus 2x, because now I'll go minus x squared and minus 2x. So be very careful of that. If you've made a mistake, if you make a mistake, it could be there. So divided by h. So now I'm left with the limit as h approaches 0 of, okay, I'm going to write the whole thing out again. So it's x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 2x plus 2h minus x squared now. So minus x squared minus 2x all divided by h. So we're left with the limit as h approaches 0. X squared minus x squared, well that's 0, so they're gone. We've got, I think, a 2x, so yeah, we've got 2x minus 2x, so they're gone. So we're left with 2xh plus h squared plus 2h all divided by h. Now we can divide h, there's a h in everything, so we can divide by h. So we're left with the limit as h approaches 0. H into 2xh goes 2x times h into h squared plus h, and h into 2h goes plus 2 times. So now we can just work out the limit. So that's going to be equal to 2x plus 0 plus 2, which is just 2x plus 2. So we have dy over dx is equal to 2x plus 2. So the first part of the question said, I go back, differentiate x squared plus 2x from first principles. That just means find an equation, find a formula, or find the slope of the curve, which we have done because we've ended up with dy over dx, which is the slope of the curve. Using this formula here, using this, dy over dx is equal to 2x plus 2. So that means the slope of the curve is twice the x value plus 2. So now let's have a look at the second part of the question. So the second part of the question said, and then find the slope of the graph. So this is the graph. So we've got to find the slope of this when x is 2. So we know that the slope of this is dy over dx, which is this thing here, 2x plus 2. So the slope is here, 2x plus 2. When we have to find the slope when x is equal to 2. So when x is 2, dy over dx will be, anywhere there's an x, we just fill in 2, twice 2 plus 2. So twice 2 is 4, so we're left with 4 plus 2, which is 6. So we have this graph here, x squared plus 2x. First of all, we came up with the slope. dy over dx is twice the x value plus 2. So when the x value is equal to 2, the slope is 6. Okay, let's do one more of them. So it'll be very similar. So we're going to differentiate, or I'm going to write it a different way. I'm going to write find the slope of the graph. Let's see, x squared plus 3. X squared plus 3 when x equals, let's say, x equals minus 1. Okay, so we got to find the slope of that graph when x is equal to minus 1. So we know about the slope. We know how to do that. So we're going to write f of x is equal to the graph. So x squared plus 3. F of x plus h then is just equal to, anywhere there's an x, I put in x plus h. So it's going to be x plus h squared plus 3. And when I multiply that out, same as before, it's x squared plus 2xh plus h squared and then plus 3. So we have that. So dy over dx, you're just using the formula, the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. We know where that formula came from. So now let's fill in. So we have dy over dx, the slope of the graph, is equal to f of x plus h, which is this. So it's x squared. Oop, I forgot to write the limit. So it's the limit as h approaches 0 of x squared. Where is it? X squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 3 minus f of x. So f of x is this, and don't forget it's minus all of that. So minus x squared plus 3 all divided by h. So we get the limit as h approaches 0. We've got x squared minus x squared, so they're gone. We've got 3 minus 3, so they're gone. And we're left with 2xh plus h squared all over h. So let's divide by h. So we get the limit as h approaches 0. H into 2xh goes twice x. H into h squared plus h. And now we can work out the limit now. So as h approaches 0, that's going to give us 2x plus 0, which is just 2x. So the slope, dy over dx, or f dash of x, remember, is another notation for us. So dy over dx is equal to f dash of x. So f dash x, which is the same as dy over dx, which is the slope, is equal to twice x. But we want to find the slope when x is equal to minus 1. That's simple now because we have a formula for the slope. It's twice the x value. So when x is equal to minus 1, dy over dx, the slope, is equal to twice minus 1, which is minus 2. So this time we got a negative slope. So what does that mean? Well, a negative slope just means that the graph is falling. So when we look at the graph from left to right, it's falling like this. And a positive slope means that it's rising like this. So if we were to draw that x squared plus 3, the graph would look something like this. It's an x squared graph, so it looks, yeah, pretty much something like that. So when x is equal to minus 1, let's say minus 1 is out here, what the question was asking us to do was to find the slope of this graph when x is equal to minus 1. So find the slope of the graph right there. And the slope of the graph is there, like that. That's the slope of the graph. And it turned out to be minus 2.